University of Michigan just released an interesting study because it claims that a transition to electric vehicles could allow 90% of vehicle-owning households in the United States to see a reduction in the amount spent on transportation energy. That phrasing, transportation energy, is interesting because they don't in the study include the initial purchase price of the car in their overall calculations. Now, $60,000 to $65,000 on a new EV will definitely impact your overall transportation budget. But when you leave that out of the calculations, it makes an EV look a whole lot better. Second thing they talk about is that greenhouse gas emissions could be reduced by this EV transition. But oftentimes these studies forget to include little things like it takes 7 times more metals and minerals to build an EV than it does to build an internal combustion engine vehicle. At the same time, it takes as much as 60 to 80,000 miles to break even on greenhouse gas emissions because of the embedded emissions associated with manufacturing the batteries for these vehicles. So at 80,000 miles, you break even, and at 100,000 miles, your warranty gives out. And if at 100,000 miles, you need to replace the battery in your car, you're looking at between $5,000 and $20,000 to do that. So you effectively reset your CO2 counter and add another $10,000, $20,000 to the cost of the vehicle. Now, the last thing they noted in this study that was interesting relates to costs, because low-income Americans, they claim, could be left behind by this EV transition. Their fix for it is they say that further policy interventions would be needed. But the issue is that current policy interventions tend to benefit a family or a household that brings in more than $100,000 a year. You're left wondering, is the transition really going to be as beneficial as they claim? I'm thinking no. Stick around, we'll talk more about these issues.